Since pandemic happened, ang dami nang gusto magkaroon ng farm lots. And now farm lots are being sold left and right online. And guess what? They are affordable. Some call it pre-selling farm lots or subdivided farm lots. And it seems like it's a really good deal because you can buy these farm lots at a cheaper price with a smaller cut, let's say 100 square meters, 300 square meters, 500 square meters, and they are payable in longer terms. So pwedeng 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, depende sa'yo. Sometimes with no interest at may libreng kubo ka pa. Well, for some buyers, very attractive ito. Lalo pa kung wala pa masyadong alam sa pag-due diligence ng real estate property. So, before ka bumili ng sa tingin mong sulit na farm lot, here are the things that we have to look out for before buying this piece of land. A lot of farm lots with only tax declaration as their proof of ownership. So, pag titulado ang property, it is either an original certificate of title, yung ibibigay sa'yo, or a transfer certificate of title. So if you're presented with a copy of the title, you can compare it with its certified true copy. So mura lang naman na mag-request niyan. So you get a copy at ikumpara mo doon sa copy na binigay sa'yo ng seller. You have to make sure that it is a clean title, so free from any encumbrances. So you can check the vlog that I did, you can click the link above. And there are actually farm lots na being sold with tax declaration as their only proof of ownership. So parating tinatanong, yes, you can actually still buy this. And they usually sell untitled properties o yung tax dec lang hawak at a cheaper price compared to a titled property. So there are ways to lessen the risk if you're buying a property na tax declaration na meron. So you have to get, of course, a certified true copy din ng tax declaration. And you can go to the assessor's office and cross-check it with the property tax map. If the name of the owner matches doon sa tax declaration. You can also verify the cadastral number in the tax declaration. Or pwede mo rin gawin is to trace the chain of ownership if you want to go that far. So, ang question pa natin is, mapapatituluhan ba itong tax declaration? And will it be already under the name of the buyer? The answer is yes and yes. It's possible naman to be titled under the name of the buyer, but it's quite challenging. It can be a long process. Kaya ang gumagawa nito usually nakikipag-negotiate sa seller na pwedeng habaan pa yung payment terms. So hanggat hindi pa siya napapatituluhan o hindi pa siya napaproseso, is hindi pa nila babayaran ng full payment. So sa tax declaration, you can also find the property classification. So most of these affordable farms are classified as agricultural. There are agri-lands that were awarded by the government, and we have to take note na pag under CARP, there are restrictions in buying these lands. So lalo na pag CLOA, yung Certificate of Land Ownership Award, there's a holding period of 10 years before the owner can actually sell it. So baka hindi pa tapos yung holding period, binibenta na nung may-ari. So just beware of that. Now, if it's classified as timberland or forest land, medyo magduda ka na kasi if they're selling it, they cannot actually be sold. The government can recover timberland issued with tax declaration. So the next thing that you have to ensure is to deal and only pay doon sa may-aring nakalagay sa title. There are so many cases that later they found out that the owner is long dead or yung binibigyan nila ng pera is hindi naman napupunta doon sa may-ari. So you have to make sure na you're talking directly to the owner. So now if you're buying or dealing with a developer na merong big project who would put amenities, clubhouses, etc. Ask for permits and licenses. Like if it's a pre-selling, at least meron silang development permit or meron silang certificate of registration or dapat meron na silang license to sell issued by DHSUD. So you can email DHSUD to verify if yung kausap niyong developer ay meron ng license to sell. So meron namang investors na merong malalaking lote pero they sell it by section. So they call it 10 by 10. So they would sell 10 lots first, then another 10 and so on. So if you're buying a subdivided lot, it is so much better and safer if that particular block and lot or particular unit that you're buying, meron na siyang individual title. So it can give you, peace of mind na yung bibilin mo is may titulo na based on the exact size and location. So usually kasi yung mga nagbebenta ng malalaking farm lots tapos sinasubdivide nila, tapos when you check, hindi pa siya individual title. So what they would do is, of course, they will get buyers, then pag nakaipon na sila ng pera ng buyers, dun pa lang nila ipapa-subdivide yung title. So medyo a little bit risky ito, lalo na kung hindi pa kakilala masyado yung kausap, because anything can happen. Malay mo hindi mabankrupt or itakbo yung pera and so on and so forth. A lot of things that can happen along the way, diba? So make sure that we're talking to a trusted broker or agent who can vouch for these sellers. The last thing that we have to check is, of course, kung merong water system, may sewage system, may drainage system, even garbage disposal system, very important also. And of course, kung meron ba siyang access roads. Baka bumili ka nga lote, wala ka namang dadaanan or wala pa siyang right of way. So it's also good to visit the LGU and ask for basic things like, okay ba ang kuryente, or how safe is this area, secured ba dyan, ano available internet connection, and so on. So you can also ask them yung current market value kasi sila yung mas nakakaalam. Baka mamaya yung binili mo, medyo mahal pala. Kaya minsan I would recommend, instead of buying subdivided lots na ang dami mong katabi, dami mong kapitbahay, just ask for a relative or a friend na baka gusto nila mag-co-ownership and buy from a private seller. So you can get a bigger cut with a cheaper price than the so-called pre-selling subdivided lots. Just like what we did previously, 3 months ago we found this very nice property in Mendez, and I can't remember how many times we negotiated back and forth sa may-ari until we got it almost half of its original price. So, ayun naman yung kinaganda. If you're buying from a private seller, you can really negotiate the price and the terms of payment, of course. So, also don't forget to ask yourself, ano ba yung klase ng farming that you want to do? Kasi mamaya gusto mo pala commercial farming, gusto mo maglagay ng poultry, tapos ang bibilin mo yung subdivided lots. Baka it might not be for you. So, there's so many options right now. Mag-type ka lang sa Facebook ng farm lots for sale. You'll be surprised with a lot of offers. But of course, you have to examine your options. Ano ba yung mas okay na bibilin? Saan location ba mas okay? Sa north ba? Or sa south? Sa Tagaytay? Sa Batangas? Or sa Tarlac sa Bataan? Or how about sa east? Kasi walang sa Tanay, sa Pililla, walang toll, right? But the important thing is you like the property and you have to make sure you're dealing with a licensed broker or an agent who can really vouch and recommend legit farm lots. But of course, don't forget, even if you have your broker or your agent, always do your own due diligence.